with programming. So as the main part of Python, you are having indentation within Python. So one of the main feature of Python, what we discussed yesterday, was readability. So readability, if you have known C language, then you must know that where to place the brackets for loop, while loop, or if statement, if else statement. So normally, we people are keeping bracket anywhere, the opening bracket, the closing bracket. Isn't it the curly brackets? What I'm telling about, the main brackets, what we have to consider. But that is totally violating the readability of the program. So whenever this type of codes are there at that time, it is very difficult because no constraints are there that where to keep the curly brackets. After completion of if statement, you can place a curly bracket, or after the line of if statement, you have to write the curly bracket. So those constraints were not specified in previous languages. So because of that, indentation was something which is needed for readability of the program, understandability of the program. So as far as Python is concerned, inbuilt indentation or inbuilt whenever the you can say the editor, whatever ID, the prerequisite for today's session, as I already specified on the Google Classroom, that you should have any editor, either PyCharm, either Thony, or Conan, Atom is there, or any Jupyter Notebook, anything is there with you, or even online editors which are available to you. Have that, means have open with you, so that whatever I'm telling you, you can try it yourself. So whenever you are using any editor at that time, inbuilt indentation is specified by those IDEs. So if I'm writing something, so here a function is specified to you, that def specifies a function. So all the function name starts with def, means a function, function1, func1, bracket signifies it is a function. Then colon is the main separator for all the statements, if, else, for, while, everywhere you need this colon. Functions, you need colon. So colon is nothing but it is indicating that the function, if, for, while, that is over. So whatever condition has to be specified, that is over. Now the main body starts. So now after that colon, so here you can see that indirectly when you are writing at that time, space would be specified. So space, this red line signifies, normally the editor which I am going to use today is Thony. So within that Thony ID, Thony Python, so you are having a tab character which is left, and after that only you can write printf or print statement. F is not there. In C, you are having printf for printing any string, but instead of that, in case of Python, you are only having print statement. But the burden of percentage %d, percentage %c, that is totally ignored, or it is totally not considered in case of Python. Because as far as Python is concerned, what you are having, that simply totally it is having auto typecasting. So whatever you are writing a comma b comma c, you don't have to write percentage %c, percentage %d, percentage %f, it will take automatically. So within printf, whatever string within single quote or double quote you are writing, that would be directly printed on the screen. So here what I am telling is simply it is showing a tab character. So this tab character signifies that readability of the program is always there. So whatever the meaning of the program, the semantic of the program is there, those semantics are indirectly specified by the Python program. So if this tab character is not there, it signifies that error is there within my program. You will see the demonstration of all these programs once I'm having some number of examples for you. So indentation is one of the scenario which we'll see practically. Apart from that, the main heart of your logic is nothing but statements, looping, isn't it? So whenever we are starting any programming language, at that time, the logic has to be converted into a program. So first thing what we are starting with is if statement. If statement signifies that conditions are there, those conditions are true or false. We have seen yesterday some operators are there. So arithmetic operator, logical operator. So those operators can be considered within this, within the condition. So here flowchart. So as I specified previously also, that it is assumed that C language is known to you, isn't it? And we are comparing those C concepts with Python. But then too, if you are not so much aware with C, we will see that a flowchart is given to you for if statement, what it signifies. That if a condition is specified, if that condition is true, only two things are possible. The condition is either true or it is not true. So if the condition is true, then a block of statement is executed. If the condition is false, then again it is coming to a single point where both these blocks are merging. So if true or false, you want to do something. So this is the if statement, isn't it? So if statement, how you can write? So if you are aware with C language, then in C language, these brackets are always creating problem. Brackets, that if expression, within this expression any condition can be written, then you are having brackets. So it is not compulsory that these brackets are to be here only. So these brackets can be after the line where if statement is written, after 2 3 lines if statement is written, after a tab this bracket can be there, opening parenthesis, then a code of execution, the code of statements can be written, and then the closing parenthesis. Now with the same thing, if you want to write, so these brackets are creating problem which is reducing the readability of a program. So instead of that, if the same thing I want to write in Python, then the syntax is same. That if statement you have to write, if keyword you have to write, then the expression is there, then colon is needed. As I'm telling you, as I told you, that if, for, if else, do while, whatever, while loop, function, wherever you are using at that time, the conditions or colon is always needed. So after colon, what you are having is, after colon, what you are having is the statement. So this statements what you are writing in if, this statements what you are writing in if. Just one sec, because the PPTs are scrolling. Okay, we are at this if statement was there. So if statement you are having the expression of the code what you are write, instead of that colon. So only the main things what you have to think about or what you have to keep in mind about is if the same keyword is there which is there in C, expression, whatever condition you are writing in the bracket in C, the same thing has to be written. Instead of bracket, what you have to write is colon, so that this condition is ending, that thing can be specified. Apart from that, this code, whatever you are writing, the same code has to be written, but after a tab. All the things are to be written after a tab. After a tab character, whatever you are writing, that should be considered as in part of if. So in part of if is specified like this. Likewise, the second thing, that an example is taken over here, that number. Number is equal to int input. I'll specify exactly that what is this input. Enter a number. So a number is taken. If that number mod 2, so this modular sign signifies a reminder. So whatever number is there which is divided by 2, whatever reminder is there, if it is equal to 0, then print num is even. So the number whatever you are getting, it is an even number if the reminder is 0. If the remainder is 0. So now this is the case that if the reminder is 0, then say the if the keyword is the same, the condition is the same, but colon is something what you have to keep in mind. Then when you are using the editor, it will leave a tab space, and then whatever statement is there, that this program is dedicated for taking for printing whether the number is even or not. Here, this is the dilemma, that what is this? That num is equal to int input num, enter the number. So enter the number signifies that it is something from the command prompt. If you want to take any number, then it is enter the number from the command prompt. So this is input. So instead of scanf statement, what you have considered or what we have seen in case of C language, what you are having over here is input. So input, it is always taking the input in string form. So this string you want to convert into int. So this is considered as explicit typecasting. Int is explicit typecasting. Whatever input is taken from the command prompt, that should be converted into integer, and that number you want to verify whether it is even or not. So all the participants, please turn off your mic because disturbance is created over here. So we will see practically, because till if statement is over, I'll show all the things within practicals. What you have to keep in mind, that is only important, that if statement condition colon tab that will be left that will be leaved by the IDE itself, whatever you are using. After that, after if statement, I'm having else, if else, the combination of if else. So within if else also, what you are having? Within if else also, what you're having condition. Within the condition, if the condition is true, block of statements are executed. If the condition is false, then you have to execute other thing. So if else, that is nothing but if the condition is true, something else has to be executed. If the condition is false, then else block has to be executed. So here one program is taken for you, that normally what we are writing, if expression brackets code of statements, if the condition is true, then this code of statement again closing bracket is needed, then you are having else part, then again opening bracket is needed, because if number of lines are more, you should have combination of opening bracket and closing bracket. Here in this case, what will happen if the same thing, say consider that you are not having Python. If you want to write convert this same thing into Python, if has to be written, then a space, then the condition has to be written, colon has to be written, then a tab will be left by the ID itself, and then you are having the block of statement if the condition is true. Else again a colon is needed. So basically colon is needed with the else statement. Keep this thing in mind. And if the condition is false, if the condition is false, then what has to be executed? So that is written over here. So now the same thing if I want to write in Python, then here again it is a program to check a person is eligible to vote or not. So if the condition is, if the program is eligibility for voting, then what is that? That the age of the person, if it is greater than 18, then or equal to 18, he is eligible for voting. So here the thing is this, age is equal to int input enter the age. So this is dynamically input of a variable. This is something which you have to keep in mind, that statically if I'm providing age is equal to 20, then 20 is already known to you. That the value of age is 20, you can directly say whether he is able to vote or not. So instead of that, if this value is not known to you, so you can have this combination, input, enter the age, and then int, integer, and then again age. If age is greater than 18, print value are eligible, or you can say that the person you are eligible to vote, else print sorry you have to wait. Output. So here the thing is this only, that enter your age. So enter your age, it is 90. So age is 90, 90 is greater than 18, it will directly print that it is true, you are eligible for vote. Instead of that, if I'm writing 8, so okay. Instead of that, if else is there, else part is there. If it is 8, 9, 10, anything lesser than 18, it will go to the else part and then it will print. Likewise, if you know that if is there, if else is there is one ladder. If else ladder in case of C language. So instead of if, then else, if here you are having a single statement which is elif, ELIF, elif is there, which is a single statement. Okay, some requests are coming for joining this, so let me join that person, give permission to that person to join. Any other persons are there who want to join and not able to join the meeting? Okay, so now here the question was there here. Okay, 5 minutes I am providing to those who wants to join the meeting. The request is coming, so as they are out of our domain network, explicitly the permission has to be provided to them. In some of the mail IDs, I'm not getting those permission. In some, we are getting that. Okay, let me continue. Continue with the presentation. Okay, so Alif is nothing but it is a ladder, else if ladder. So if the condition, if the diagram is simple, so what it says, if the condition is true, execute the statement number 1. If it is not, again check a condition. If that condition is true, execute statement number true. statement number 2. If the condition is false, again go to check a new condition. So it is what? Condition 1, true. Again, execute a statement. If it is not, again check the condition. So it is else if. So if condition is not true, likewise. So here one example is taken, is given to you, that if else ladder, else if ladder, if you want to write in C, then it is if condition bracket, then you are having series of statements. If the condition is true, then the bracket is over, you are writing else space if. Now again it is if condition, within that you are having condition number 2. So this condition is not true, then only you have to check condition number 2. Then again you are having series of statements. If this condition number 2 is true, and then you are having else statement. So else statement is will execute if condition 1 and 2 both are not same, and then you are executing the end of the statement or the rest of the statement which is there in else part. So now this signifies what? That if else. So the same thing if I want to write in Python. Then in Python, as you know that if is there, condition is there, the first condition, then you have to write colon. This colon is the most important part. Brackets are not there. Instead of that, you are having a tab character. A tab character, after that, all the statements are to be written in a synchronous way. Say after a tab only, all the conditions, all the code what you are writing over here, that has to be plugged over here within the block of statement. Keep this thing in mind. After that, instead of writing whole thing else space if, you are directly having elif, elif, then condition number 2, again a colon, then you are having block of statements which are to be executed if condition 2 is true. Likewise, third condition. Otherwise, if condition 1, 2, and 3 all are not true, then you have to go to else part. Now, the question arises whether else should always be there. Now, else is optional. Else can be there, else cannot be there. So keep this thing in mind, that if else is not compulsory, else is optional. Okay, again some requests are coming. Let me see. Let me check it out. Okay. Okay, where we were? Okay, else if this type of combination, that is important. Now here one example is given to you, that int input number. This thing you have to just keep in mind, that explicitly from command prompt, if you want to get a dynamic number, then this is the combination. So a number is taken. If that number is equal to, now this is nothing but conditional operator, equal to 10, then I am printing the number is equal to 10. Elif. So this is elif. So elif is nothing but combination of else if. So else if the number is 50, then you are writing 50. Else if, again, elif, your number is 100. Else the number is not 10, not 50, not 100. So if all these conditions are false, then only it will go to this 10, 50, 100 combination. Are you getting? So the number what we are providing is 15. Then it is providing that it is not 10, not 50, not 100. So it is something different. Are you getting? So here I am adding simply statements, the simple statements. So now onwards we'll see on Thoni. The ID what I'm choosing is Thoni, because many times students are telling that here the thing what we have used Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is the only thing through which we can use it. Python we can execute it. No. PyCharm is one good editor. Likewise, Thoni is there, COBOL is there, Colab is there, Atom is there. Anything you can use. So here, the first program what I want to show is that yesterday one question was asked, that variables. So how you can assign value to a variable, or what names you have to provide to a variable. So those variables, so here apart from that comments are there, we will see one by one all the things over here. So this is the editor window in which you have to write the program, and this is the shell window in which you have to execute the program. So control L is there just to vanish whatever is there within the shell. Control L I'm using for deleting whatever executed previously. Now the first thing what I want to check is what should be the variable name. So variable names are similar to that of C. So keep this thing in mind that variable names are same as that of C. So now see this, that what could be the variable name. So single line comment. Here you can see that hash is used. So this is nothing but my single line comment. Then I'm using the name A0. A0 is equal to 12. Then B1 is equal to 13. And then I want to print A0 and B0. So if I want to print whether I'll be able to print these two things. A0 is equal to 12, B1 is equal to 13, print A0 and B1. See, the condition for variable is it should start with underscore or any alphabet, uppercase or lowercase. Again, I want to remind you that Python is case sensitive. Python is case sensitive. So if you have written something in lowercase and then you are accessing the same variable in uppercase, both the variables would be different. So Python is case sensitive. Here I am having A. Here I am having B, which are the starting character. So it is allowed because underscore and letters, or you can say alphabets, they are allowed as the starting character. After that you can use anything, letter, character, anything. So if I want to run this program, so here everything is other thing I had placed in comments, and comments what I used are of different types. So three quotes, double quotes, so that thing can be used as comment for starting and the ending. So here if I want to run the program, what output I should get, output I should get, it is giving me output 12 and 13. As the variables are proper and it is giving me 12 and 13. So 12 and 13 because the variable names are proper. So instead of that, what I'm doing is, instead of the first variable A0 which is proper, I'm changing the name of the second variable which is 1b, and then I'm printing 1b. So what will happen? Okay, what do people think? What will happen in this case? First variable is proper, the second variable name is not proper because it should not start with a digit. So if I'm executing this program in the window, it is showing you that invalid syntax. So invalid syntax signifies that there is one error at this position 1b. Now which variable is not proper, not properly given the name? It is the second variable. Now what I'm doing, that first variable again I'm changing the name, which is an invalid name because zero, starting with zero, that is not allowed, isn't it? So both the variable names are not valid, syntactically they are not valid, and again I'm running the program. So what is expected? So again it is showing you that 0a is equal to 12. So at this line you are having syntax error. Where syntax error should be there? At first line and at second line both. But as we have specified that Python is an interpreted language. So Python is an interpreted language. What it signifies, as and when the first line is executed, it is having error, it will show that error and then it won't go to the next line. So these errors are specified line by line. First line is erroneous, it won't show you execution of the second line. Are you getting? Instead of that, those who are aware of C language. So in C language, what will happen? That the whole block of code is executed and you will have a lot of error if you are having error at each and every place. So first line error is there, it is shown. Second line error is there, it is shown. Fifth line error is there, it is shown in a bulk. So all the bulk of errors you will be able to see in case of C, because it is a compiled language. The whole block is executed at a time. It is converted at a time. But instead of that, it is an interpreted language. So see, this is the difference. Interpreted language. So because of that, error is there in first line. It is showing you that error is there in this line. The first line itself. Second line is not executed. So instead of that, if I'm changing it and making it this, now it will show me that error is there in the second line. So if I'm executing, see the output, what I'm getting error 1b is equal to 13. So now I'm able to get error in second line because first line is interpreted and I'm getting the executable code for a equal to 12 successfully. Then only it will execute the second line. Now this was just the demonstration for what type of variable names, even underscore is allowed. So instead of one, because digits or any other thing or any other symbol is not allowed as the valid variable name. So if I'm using underscore, underscore is again considered as a valid starting character for any variable name. So if I'm changing the variable name, I'm running it, it should go show me the corresponding character value. Getting this? So that question was asked yesterday. So because of that, I'm showing this program. Otherwise, most of you must know that what is that? What is that? So it is again showing A0 is not there. We have changed the name to A itself. So because of that, the error is there. If everything is proper, you will get 12 and 13, which should be the proper answer for your program. So again, many codes are there. Control L, you can print or you can type so that everything is finished within the command prompt. So command prompt, you have to execute the program from this. So now that was related to this. So how many types of comments are there? A single line comments with uh, then three single quotes. Again, you have to end with three single quotes. So this is also one type of comment. Now green here specifies that these are kept in comments. Now here I am showing you if statement, if else statement, the demonstration of if else statement. So now what I had done for demonstrating that, simple thing, whatever we have written over here, the same thing is written, that a is equal to 10. A is nothing but a variable whose value is 10. It is a static value to variable a. If a is not equal to 10, again a colon is there, you can see a colon is there. Then I had written print bracket a. So what do you think, whether this will be executed? What was the condition which has to be kept in mind? That if condition colon and then a tab character must be there, this character is not there, this printf, this print statement is not considered as part of if. So if I'll execute this statement, it will give me error at print a. So print a, but what type of error is there? Expected and indented block. Indented block is always expected. So instead of that, so see this, that after colon, if I'll press enter, so by default it is taking space character, tab character as space which is needed to be returned. So this is what is needed, what is expected from Python point of view. No brackets are there, but directly you can do this. So here now a tab is there which is valid for if, and then if you are writing print a, now it should execute and will print the value of a. So if a is not equal to 10, print a. So whether it will print the value of a or not, the condition is if it is not equal to 10, then it will print the a. But instead of that, I have to write if it is equal to 10, then I want to print the value of a. So now again I'm running the program. So it is printing 10, and again here something like this is written, other code is written, for that again it is printing 10. So a is equal to 10. If a is equal to 10, print a else. So many times people are forgetting this colon. So with else also, what is expected is colon. Though condition is not written, but it is the syntax that with else also you have to write the colon. Then you are having print and it is not 10. So here in this case, what you will be able to print, that if it is 10, then it will print 10. But instead of that, if I'm changing the value of a to anything apart from 10, it will print that it is not 10. So it is something which is expected. So what should be the result? So the result was 10 only because the value is 10. Now I'm changing the value from 10 to 18. So in that case, it should print that not 10. So it is not 10. So in this case, a is equal to 10. For the first block, it is printing, it is 10. Then I had changed the value of a is equal to 18. So in that case, it is printing not 10. So that is just to demonstrate that if what has to be written with if in first block, no else is there, then too it is executing properly. In the second block, I am having if Then some statements are written, else then some statements are written, then too it will execute properly. Now from my side, I want to ask you a question that if I want to find largest among two numbers, so largest among two numbers, so what logic you will apply in this block? In this block, what logic you will apply? So if these two numbers are already known to you, that A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, then largest is already known to you because you are taking as input as a static value. So instead of that, in the second demonstration, I'm showing you that how to take these values from the user. So these values I want to take from user and they are dynamic value. So if these are dynamic values, then what will happen? So this is the code where I'll show you that I want to find largest among two numbers, but very different variations are there within this, that how to you can print the values. So if those two things are static, so again I'm commenting that static is there, what will happen? Dynamic is there, what will happen? Hash is used for single line comments. So I'm commenting it. Just to uncomment it, you can use whatever you want to use. So these values of A and B are static. A is equal to 30, B is equal to 20. Now print the type, that by default it is what should be the value, what should be the type of this data, A and B. Data types also we have seen yesterday. So that type should print integer because A is equal to 30, B is equal to 20. The type of A, that is nothing but integer. So if I want to find the largest, then simply if else finding largest from two numbers, then the condition is if A is greater than B, then print string A. So here I had written string A. So instead of that, I'll simply write, so string A for demonstration only, A. Plus, can I use plus over here, is largest? Or should I write else part? I had written the same thing because if A is greater than B, then A is largest, else B is largest. But here I had written comma. So basically when you want to print two numbers or a number and string or any combination, at that time better to use comma. Plus is used to do concatenation of two things. And it is expected that both the sides, what you are writing in print, they are of string type only. So if it is not of string type, it will give you error. So it will give you error. So if we are executing this program, it is expected that it should give me error. But what type of error is there? That A plus is largest. So A plus is largest and it is giving you what? That unsupported operand of plus with integer and string. The first one is integer and the second one is string. So because of that, it is uncompatible. A is integer and this whole thing within double quotes is string. So because of that, you have to do typecasting. So typecasting with string. So str and then within that bracket, if I'm writing this down, this is string and this is string, both the things are string, then you can run the program properly. That if A is greater than B, then A, whatever value is there that is converted into a string form is largest. And then B, comma is largest, that is a normal way. Comma can be used to print any combination, integer with string, with float, with complex, anything could be there as comma, 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 you can write it. So if I am executing this program, it will tell that 30 is largest because A is this and B is 30. A is 20, B is 30, so 30 is largest. And this is printed like this. Now instead of that, what I want that A and B are static. Instead of that, if we want to make it dynamic, now the combination is this. No scanf. Here scanf is not there. So instead of that, here you are having printf function. Printf, enter the value of A. This printf, this input, input, enter the value of A. Printf, enter the value of A in scanf. You are writing. Instead of that, here it is input, enter the value of A. It is always string, which is to be typecasted into integer. So this is explicit typecasting. You are explicitly typecasting the string type into integer, and that is kept into A. Likewise, enter the value of B, and that value is a string which is to be typecasted into integer. Now these two things are dynamic. So when you are running the program at that time, you can put any value of A, any value of B. So here again, as the command window, I want to execute every means I want to vanish or I want to clear. So Control L, you can press for that. Okay, what is expected here in this case? First of all, it will prompt for getting the value of A, then getting the value of B. So again, I'm running the program. So when I'm running the program, I'll run the program. It is expecting first, as it is interpreter, it will execute line by line. Enter the value of A, it is 10. Again, second line, what is to be interpreted is enter the value of B. So that is 12. Okay. Now, what will be the data type of this? Data type of A, as I had explicitly typecasted into int. So it is telling you that the class is int. Data type of A, the class is int. If I haven't typecasted, it will show you str, string. If I haven't typecasted, it will show you str, which is string. So explicitly, if it is not typecasted, comparison can't be done. So if you want to do the comparison, then one is integer, one is string. That comparison is not possible. Both the things are to be in integer form only. Both the things are to be in string form only. So here, if A is greater than B, then you are writing string. So this is just for demonstration that if many times people are using plus, but plus can be used with string and string only. So here it is showing you again plus dynamically value 10 and 20. So 10 and 12, the largest value is 12. So it is printing 12 is largest. And as it is integer, I can use the operator, arithmetic operator plus. So B plus 10, that is equal to A, and that A is printed. So the value is 10 plus 12, 22, that is printed on the screen. It is just for demonstration that if int this typecasting is not done, what will happen? Okay, can you tell me that what will happen if this typecasting is not done? Where the error will come? Any guess? That here typecasting is not done. In one variable, typecasting is there, B, but in this variable, it is string only. So where the error will come? Where the interpreter will stuck? This is executed, yes. This will execute, B, yes. This will execute, yes. But what will happen if you are doing this? A is greater than B. So let's see that what will be the output of this program. Enter the value of A. I am entering 10 only. Enter the value of B. I am entering 12 only. But now it is giving you error. So error at what point? A is greater than B. So both the variables are of different type. So when you are comparing this arithmetic operator greater than this comparison operator you are using, so A which is of string type, B which is of integer type, this thing we can't use. Are you getting? So either both are integer, both are string, that is always needed. And here you can say type of A. So this type of A, it is printing str. So by default, input is always giving you str input or str form, the string form of input. So that was just to demonstrate that if else dynamically how you can get value form. So I think I'm clear, I'm reaching to you that exactly what I want to explain. Any query is there, you can write in chat box. My other colleagues are there. They will try to answer to their best. Okay, now see that if is there, else is there. Now some of the operators, if you remember, that they were not there in C language, but are there in Python. So two of the operator are slash slash and star star. So whether you remember what these two slashes are for? So these two slashes are for finding. So whenever you are doing division with any number, at that time, it is giving you the value in some floating point number, dot something. So if you want to get the floor value of that integer, then you can use slash slash. So this slash slash is always giving you the floor value of the floating point number. And star star. Now this operator is for raise to. That raise to sign you can use it. So as it was one of the question in the chat box yesterday, so again I am showing you one of the example for this, that input enter the value of A, typecast into integer. So A is nothing but an integer. So I think that now it is clear to you dynamically if you want to get any variable, and if that variable is integer, then typecast into integer. Then if I want to find the remainder and the quotient of this number, So remainder and quotient of this number I want to use, I want to get, then remainder is nothing but the rightmost value of my integer, or rightmost digit. Instead of value, I should write digit of my integer. So for that, I have to use this sign, which is my modulus sign. So a mod 10, that will give me the remainder part. And if I want to use slash slash, so two things are possible. That a divide by 10, whatever answer you are getting, that is again typecasted into integer. So that will give you the floor value. Or you can use a slash slash 10. Slash slash, again it is giving you the floor value of a. So these are the two things which are possible. Apart from that, if star star you want to use, star star signifies raise to. So instead of that power, what you are using in case of C, here you are having directly an operator which is star star. So should I run the program? Okay, if my number is 189, so what you are expecting as the first output? So what should the remainder? So remainder would be the rightmost digit of my integer. So it should be A. So this is nothing but modulus operator which will give me the rightmost value. So it is 9. And slash slash, slash slash is giving you the floor value. So when you are doing division, at that time the value what is coming out is 18.9. So instead of 18.9, I simply want 18. So for that, this is giving you the value 9, which is the rightmost value, and then it is providing you 18, which is nothing but remainder. So here I had shown that either you can typecast it into integer, so that will give you the integer value of 18.5, or you can use slash slash. Both the things are possible. And here the value of b, again it is expecting the value of b if it is 4. Then star star. So star star is nothing but raised to 2. So raised to 2 means 4 raised to 2. The answer which is expected is 16. 4 raised to 2. So are you getting this? So this concept I had explained to you because when you are using for loop, while loop, at that time we will use this operator which is slash slash and the modulus operator. So just for giving you the brief and what we learned yesterday. So synchronization would be there. For that we have used this. Any queries there? Again, I'm reminding you, right? Because it is something which is very easy to understand those who have programmed with C, the C language. Only syntactic some differences are there. Now, the third program which I want to show you is related to else if ladder. So in else if ladder, the first thing what I want to show is first thing that I want to find largest among three numbers. So largest among three numbers, what you can do? I want to find largest among three numbers. So either you can use only if statement, you can use if else means elif ladder, or you can use nested if else. So that is also possible. But the best part is if elif, the thing if you are using, then you will get the answer very easily. So one thing what is there, that just forget it, that map is not there with you. So if map is not there with you, and you want to get largest among three numbers. So how you can get largest among three numbers? So first thing which is needed is dynamically you have to ask to the user to give input for this three numbers. So enter the value of A, enter the value of B, enter the value of C, and they are kept in variable A, B, and C. After that, the condition what I am showing over here, see this properly, that if A is greater than B, and now basically those who are from C background, we are writing logical and like double and, isn't it? So instead of that, here you have to write the keyword and, the keyword and. So instead of this double and, which is there in C, you have to write A and B, the keyword and. So A is greater than B and A is greater than C, then print A is largest. If A is not largest, you have to go to the second part. If, so it is else if, instead of that you are having ELIF, if B is greater than A and B is greater than C, then obviously B is largest. Here I want to print the value also, that what are the values which are largest. So because of that it is A comma A is largest, B comma B is largest. Then the third part, L if C is greater than A and C is greater than B, then you are printing print C is largest. Okay, now here I haven't considered equal to part. Can you see this? That equal to part is not considered. So it is going into else part. Not A is largest, B is largest, C is largest. Then what could be the possibility? That one possibility is all the three are same. Or the second possibility is two of the values are same. In both the scenario, it will go into else part. It will go into else part. So in else, what I had written, all are same or two of them are same. So this possibility is always there. So in this case, if I'll run the program, what is there? Statically, dynamically, three inputs are taken. Then three inputs, whichever is largest, that will be printed. So are you getting the logic of the program that what you want to do? So again, control L so that the shell is clear. Okay, run the program. When I'm running the program, what is expected? Okay, it is giving you error. Okay, where error comes because of many things are kept in uh, brackets. So because of those brackets, you are having here we have taken out the comments. So again, comments are missing, so it will change or it will change the color of the editor window. So comment, say three codes are there, which is starting of the comment. What it is expecting, three code which are ending is needed. If it is not there, again it will show you that comment is there. Again, triple quoted string literal. So triple quoted string literal says that three codes are missing from the program. So three numbers, largest you want to find, dynamically you have to write the number. So it is giving you, it is asking you for number 10, 20, and in between I should write say 15. So the number 20 is the largest. So 20, B is the largest. B number is largest if this type of scenario is shown to you. Likewise, control L for this. So instead of that, if I want to change the scenario and two numbers or all the numbers are same, 10, 10, 10. So it will go into else part that 10, 10, 10 all are same, isn't it? So now what is expected from you people or what is expected from our participant is this, that again change it. In else part, modify the program so that similar numbers, you have to show that which numbers are similar. So that can be printed. So similar numbers can be printed. If numbers are not similar, you don't have to print it. So think about this, that if this is needed, what you will do. So within else part also you can have if. Within else part also I can have if. If A is equal to B and A is equal to C, then A and B are A, B and C are same, isn't it? Apart from that, if any of this condition is not same, say what you have to write. So think from your side, in else part I want to modify the program so that you can have which numbers are similar. All the numbers are similar, A and B are similar, B and C are similar, or A and C are similar. So this thing you can modify at this point. Now one important question is, always it is needed to write A is equal to int input, enter value of A, enter value of B, enter value of C. It would be very tedious, isn't it? If five variables are there, then all these five variables are to be written like this. For that, there is one shortcut that you can use instead of static or instead of each and every variable which is called for multiple times. We are having one split function. Split function with input. With input, we are having a split function. See this. Input, enter three numbers, split will split the numbers by space. By space, by default I haven't given anything. By spaces, all these numbers are splitted. So if I'm writing 10 space 20 space 30, then the split function is divided into three string literals, 10, 20 and 30, and this 10, 20 and 30 I want to convert that thing into integer using the function map. So map all these three string literals into integer. So the function what I'm using is map integer This is the first thing that this are to be typecasted into what? So map needs the first thing, which is nothing but typecasting into which data type, comma. This is nothing but input, what we have seen, what we have taken as the string, and then it is divided into A, B, and C. So whatever I'm giving, 10, 20, 10, 20, 30. So that would be printed over here. 10, 20, 30. Are you getting? Again, I'm printing this print. That is just either you can print new line or simply print. It will do the same. So if I'm running the program, what will happen? I should elongate this. What is expected? And the three numbers when 20, 30, which is the largest one? 30 is the largest one. Getting this? But using this, if three numbers at the time you want to input at that time, use split function so that the string is splitted into three literals, string literals, typecast it to integer, and then you can use map function for this. And then these three variables are available in three different variables. You can see this three different variables, but these names are compulsory. That these names are there with you, you can show it into A, comma B, comma C. So first 10, then 20, then 30. Those values are. So this is one of the variation. Dynamic, within dynamicity also, this is possible to take input at a time, so that always you don't have to write this input. Am I clear to you? So this was if L ladder. Getting this? So now the queries are else is needed. So again, one of the queries else is needed. No. With if else is not there, we'll do with elif else is there or not there, it will do. Now the second part, so that was ending of your elif. Now we will go towards loops. So loops are there. So Python loops. You are having while loop and for loop. Two loops are available in Python. So we'll see that exactly how this Python loops are needed for what purpose. So whenever some group of statements, some several numbers of statements, number of lines are to be executed for some number of times, then what we are using is loop. So condition is that this condition is true, execute the body of the statement. If this condition is true, execute it and repeat it. Execute and repeat it till the condition becomes false. So this is the looping statement, execute for multiple times. If the condition becomes false, then only it will come out of the loop. For loop, the same thing is there, condition is there. If it is true, execute the statement. If it is false, then you have to come out of the statement. Okay, so as far as syntax of for loop is concerned, from C point of view, you are having three things. In the condition, you are having three things within the bracket for loop. Initialization, condition, either you are writing increment or decrement. So I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus or I minus minus, this type of thing you are writing in C. And then the code. So instead of that, if I want to write in Python. So in Python, the for loop is totally different. Keep this thing in mind that in Python, for loop syntax and everything is totally different. It is considering it as iteration. It is considering it as an iteration. So what is that? For the iterative variable in some sequence execute the statement. So if I'm writing for I in one list is there where the values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then it will print 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. It is not like that I is equal to 0, I is equal to 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. It is taking the value whatever is there within the sequence. So take one example, that an input and enter the number, and then even range is possible. So here the range is there, that this range is nothing but a list of variables are there with you. So for I in, so in and not in. So yesterday we have seen that extra operators are there in Python, which is in and not in. So this in signifies that if for loop I is there within the range, so I is there, take value from this range and start printing. So for this range is eliminating the first value. This 0 is not printed. So this 0, it is starting with 0 and then it is printing. So input the value, so it is 0. So it is starting with 0 until n it is printing. So enter the value. If the value of n is equal to 2, it will start from 0. It will print 1, 0, 1, 2. So print I. So again, a tab character is there, a colon is there. So now onwards, whichever program we will see, then keep this thing in mind. Colon should always be there after condition is over. And then a tab character is there whenever you want to write the statements within if, while, for, everything. Likewise, while is there. So we'll see the syntax and then we will go towards the implementation part. That while is there, body is there, condition is there. Here explicitly you have to write plus plus, minus minus and everything. If the condition is false, again it is coming back to the initial point, the merging point of your body. So while loop, for while loop, what you have used in case of C, you'll see exactly how it is different in Python. So while condition, block of statements, while expression, colon, block of statements. So syntactically, these are the differences between this. Bracket is there, colon is there. Okay. So this is the example for while loop which is shown to you. So when I'm demonstrating at that time, the examples which are taken is totally different because here it is very easy to understand that what is written over here, I is equal to 1. While I is less than equal to 4, I value is less than equal to 4, then print I plus plus. So this I plus plus increment, decrement explicitly you have to do. That is not needed in case of for loop. So I is less than equal to 4. What is expected? Starting with 1 till 4, everything is printed. 1, 2, 3, 4. While loop is similar to that of your C while loop. Break. Now break and continue again the same what you have known from C point of view. The same condition is there from Python point of view also. So a string is there, double quotes, the string is taken, PY, THO, Python is there. So for I in, now this in is very important that here after in what is expected is a range of characters, a range of values. So str is containing character PYTHON from I, from the first character, from value 1 means which is I is equal to P. First value of I that would be P because I in str. So if my value of I is equal to O, then I have to break. Break signifies come out of the for loop, come out of the nearest loop. So the loop is for, it will come out of this loop. So here what will happen? It will, whether my value of I is O, no, it is P. The first value of I that would be P. Second value of I that would be Y. So here I am telling you that initialization variable I is equal to 0 till it is going to us this string is not equal to /0. That is not at all needed in case of Python. It is taking one by one character itself. So from 0th character to the last character, it is taking character. So P, then Y, then T, then H, print all the characters. But once it is coming at O, if it is equal to O, the value of I is equal to O, it will break. Break means it will come out of the for loop. So after that, whatever characters are there, those characters are not printed. So P, Y, T, H, from O onwards, don't print anything because you have written break. Break the for statement. Likewise, continue. The concept is again same that if continue is returned, then it is somewhat different than that break. Break will not print anything after that. Instead of that, it will skip only that part. Instead of continue, will only skip that part. So normal thing is what? While I is equal to 0, I is less than 5. What you have to do? I plus plus. If I is equal to 3, then continue. So instead of continue, if break is returned, what will happen? 1 is printed, 2 is printed, 3 is not printed, 4 is not printed, 5 is not printed. But here it is continue. Continue signifies that if I is equal to 3, then skip only that part, 3 part. Again go to condition 3 is greater than equal to this. So for 4, for 5, it will print. So 1, 2, 3 is skipped because you have written continue. Skip that part, go to checking the condition again, then 4, then 5. So that was the difference between break and continue. And the last one is pass. Pass is not used for anything. You are executing pass simply for execute it empty. So it is needed that for with if some statement is always needed. With for, with while, with else, elif. condition is always needed, some statements are always needed. But if you simply want to pass it means what? You want to ignore it. That no statement I want to write, then you can write pass. Pass is executing empty, so it will execute empty. It is for no use. So we'll see the demonstration so that it will be more clearer to you. That from for loop, we will see exactly how this is executing. Okay, for loop. It is taking somewhat 10 to 20 minutes. Whether you people want to continue, I think 2, 3 examples are only there, so we can continue it once it is over. Okay, now the first thing what I want to show is demonstrating the for loop. Now here I had shown you that now it is very important that I don't want only 5 characters or only 5 elements. Instead of that, I want to have n number of elements. So find the largest number among n elements. So for that, I had used the for loop. So if for loop is there, in the for loop, I want to find largest among n numbers. So n is totally dynamic. So here I had seen the same, I had taken the same n is equal to int input, enter the value of n. So that n is dynamic because how many numbers you want to take, that is taken from the user. Then again, it is the value of n I'm printing. Then here, what is written over here? Map int, comma, input, dot split. Now, split is having two things. That by default, if nothing is written within split at that time, it is creating number of elements and those elements are stored into different variables. But so instead of that, I'm writing space is my splitting character, 10, then space, then 20, then space, then 30. So space is nothing but my spacing character or separating character, and n is nothing but how many number of values I want to separate out. So if I want to separate out 10, then I have to write 10. Here I want to separate out into n numbers because from n numbers I want to find the largest. So because of that, here in split I had written n. Are you getting this? Now simply if you want to print, so maximum is not your aim. Simply you want to print the largest, then what you have to do? This is there, for loop, syntax is there. Okay, say this, that here I had written, you can go through PPTs once the session is over. This trick is there that dynamically if n numbers are there, then this is the way through which you can take dynamic numbers, split it into n, and then you are having 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 if my value of n is equal to 5. And this is creating a list. This is creating a list. One by one, this list element are taken using for loop into I, and then this I is printed. So if I'll run this program, what is expected? So dynamically, whatever number of values you are giving, so those number of values, control L, those many values are to be printed. Okay, whatever, how many values you want to give? So I want to give 3 values. So here, how I have to provide the values? 10 space, 23 space, 34. Okay, 3 values are there, the values are 3, and then I can press enter. So here I'm printing 12, 23, 34. 12, 23, 34. Why it is printing? Because here what constraint is given to you? I in array list. So in is the operator which is keeping what, which is doing what? That one by one all the elements are kept into I. So first 12, then 23, then 34. So this is simply printing the values. After that, the question which was given to you was, I want to print the largest, the maximum among this n numbers. So what should be the scenario? So this is again a logic, isn't it? So max is there, a variable whose initial value is 0. Those who are good coder will immediately get that what has to be done. So max is equal to 0 because which is the maximum element I want to print? Max for I in array list. This array list will consist of all the separated elements. Here I had simply printed that what is the type of I, this. So it is in this case, I typecasted all the elements into integer. So these values are all integer. Then if I is greater than max, then change the value of max is equal to I. So that is a simple logic that if the value you are getting which is greater than this, then you have to do what? Max is equal to I. The largest from n number is nothing but max. So this is the way through which you can find the largest among three numbers, four numbers, five numbers. So it is dynamically, it could be any number as we have taken n. Run this program, what will happen? You have to, it is expecting this. I'm giving 3, again 12, 10, 23. Okay, so 10, 12, 10, 23. It is, what is the value of 5? It is 10, first time 10, then, and what is the integer type, what is the typecasting or type of this value variable? Is integer, 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 and which is the largest value? Largest value is 23. So logic can be any. Internally, you can write the syntax are more important for this in semicolon. Are you getting this? And here dynamic, for dynamicity, keep this thing in mind. Map, integer, typecasting, split, with split, this value are to be there, space has to be there, comma has to be there, and has to be there. Only these basics are known to you. You can do any programming, any program related to if statement, if else statement, for loop. Now, last thing what I want to show is while, isn't it? So this is something what we have seen directly with while I is equal to 1, while I is less than equal to 4. If I is equal to 2, then break. So what will happen? I is equal to 1, so 1 will be printed. If it is becoming 2, or if instead of that, if I am writing 3. So for 1 and 2, it will print, and for 3 and 4, it won't print. So just see that whether it is executing properly. 1 and 2 it is printing, and for 3 and 4 it is not, because here you have written what? From 3 onwards break. Break means come out of this while loop. So it is coming out of the while loop, because of that 3 and 4 are not printed. Basically it has to print. Okay. Now I had taken one example, which is do addition. Do addition of n numbers. So do addition of n number. What should be the logic? Do addition of individual digit of a number. So what should be the logic? You have to separate out all the digits. So with it separating, without separating, you can't work. So for that reason only, so find addition of individual digit of a number. A number is there with you. I want to do addition of individual digits. So for that, what is needed? Int input that a is there. Sum is equal to 0, while a is greater than 0. R is nothing but the remainder part. So that is a mod 10. Print R, whatever the value of R is there, it is optional. I want to simply check that whether it is separating out properly. Then sum is equal to sum plus R, whatever the remainder is there, that has to be added with the sum. And then you have to change the value of A. And here I had used the operator which is slash slash. A is equal to A slash slash 10. So if it is 189, this is the number A, then for R, it will be have value 9. Then sum is equal to 0 plus 9. After that, the value of A, using this operator slash slash, it will become 18. 18 is greater than 0. Again R. R, the value is A which is 18 divided by mod 10. Mod 10 will give you 8 value. Then sum is equal to 9. 9 plus 8. So likewise, it is giving you the final answer 1 plus 8 plus 9. So if I'll execute this program, then it is expecting the value of A. So if it is 189, then it is 1. First, the separated value R is 9, then 8, then 1, and then addition of 9 plus 8 plus 1, which is 18. So that 18 value is printed. So all of you are getting this? That this is the last program which I want to demonstrate as far as this is concerned. So any queries are there? Queries are there in chat window. If you want to write, you may write it. Okay, now this was related to logic. That logic is there. Any programs you can write. From our side, what we are providing is syntax. So syntactically, what you have to write. So syntactically, all these things are to be known to you. That at what point, which is the most suitable operator, what you have to think about. So from demonstration point of view, whether the flow in which we are going, whether it is proper for you, because now onwards the advanced syntax of Python you have to know, or we are going to cover. Getting this? So here with I'm ending the session. And apart from that, what I'm asking you is, those who haven't registered or accepted the invitation for classroom, Google Classroom, so accept that invitation